if you wanted to make it mathematically impossible for a man to not succeed, what are habits that you say are essential every single day?
Got it. I love this because this is what I teach people to do when they're setting their goals, because I feel like a big problem with the way most people set goals is one of them is that they'll think, what do I have to do to accomplish this goal? Right. But I really think you should go after it. Like, how much effort would I have to put in to make failure impossible? Right. It's a whole different way to go out. I remember I learned this because I had a guitar teacher, and I never forget this. He said, amateurs practice till they get it right. Professionals practice till they can't get it wrong. And I was like, all right. And then that's what made me start approaching everything with that kind of intensity, because it's so much different. So when I go after a goal, it's like, yo, what do I have to do to make failure impossible?
Yeah.
Right. So to answer your question, when you're planning it out, plan it in, what would I have to do? I mean, what kind of effort would I have to put in that would make failure impossible? Like, really think about that.
Yeah.
And plan it out.
Yeah.
And that's going to be way more.
And that's like also like it's an identity thing too.
Yeah.
Like that's a characteristic of you versus like, I just do the thing.
Yeah.
Versus like, I am someone that does this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a huge,
it's Atomic Habits
difference.
type shit. Yeah. Here's the thing. You may look at that list and be like, I don't want it this bad.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Like, I've looked, this has been certain things I want to go. I'm like,
you write it out. Yeah, you write it out.
If that's what I have to do to make sure I'm not going to fail.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I might be okay with failing.
Yeah. It's like, you know what?
I'm not going to try.
Yeah. Because if you just try to do it, the problem with trying is you put in just enough effort to fail. Like, I almost rather you not. I almost rather you do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't even let my students, like, it's a thing when I don't let them say try on calls. So what? It's like, we're not try babies. You're going to do it. You're gonna put enough effort to make failure impossible, or we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to try though. Right? We're going to put in enough effort that failure would be impossible, or we're not going to do it. We don't leave failure on the table.
Yeah.
Because if you try, you'll fuck around and do just enough to fail.
Yeah.
Just enough to disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just enough to give up.
Yeah. And then say you did it, or it's not for you. And that's how you become cynical. That kind of shit leaves stains on your soul. And that's how people become haters and cynics.
Yeah.
And that's poison.
Yeah.
That's poison for your success. We got to start there. Then, boom, we got to look at calendar, because anything you want to do, you want to use time to do it. Like, one of the reasons I like watching so much, because I'm obsessed with the idea of time. Like, I think about it constantly.
Do you like the movie Interstellar?
Yeah.
I feel like you would vibe with that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But I can't stop thinking about time. I don't think people understand how many hours, how much time they actually waste. Like, if I can leave one tip to the world, it's plan out every hour of every day in your calendar. If you do that, you will get way more done. You'll get way more joy out of life.
Yeah.
Even if you just want to have more fun.
Yeah.
Not even on some hustle culture shit. Like, if you just wanted to have more fun, if you scheduled it, you would have more of it. Because you have the time. It's just that people don't manage it well. Every week you have 168 hours, right? If you sleep 8 hours a night, that's 56, right? And that's going to leave you with like 112 hours left. Man, most people are only working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right. So there's still like mad time. Like, when people say they don't have time, they bullshitting,
Yeah.
And, you got to really map out when you're going to do these things, right? Because you can have all the shit you want to do and all these plans, but people don't put when they're going to do it. They might have deadlines on when they want it done.
Yeah.
But they don't put when they're going to do it. So once you have your first list of things that will make it impossible to fail, what you'll notice is there's going to be two types of things on those lists. There's going to be one-time task and reoccurring task. Go on Google Calendar, figure out when you're going to do the reoccurring task, and make them reoccurring events in Google Calendar. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and make them recurring events. It could be every day, every Tuesday, every other day, whatever. You can customize it, and then put the one-time task in there, but not when you want it done, when you're going to do it. So let's say it's lose weight, right? All right. So one task may be, find the trainer. Right. All right. When you're going to do that? How long is it going to take? Estimate how long it's going to take. Put that in your calendar. Right. And then you're going to do that with all your tasks. Right. And then number 3 is just executing, being consistent, and one of the reasons people find it difficult to be consistent is because they accept inconsistency. You get what I'm saying? They're too easy on themselves. I think you should be, my rule is to be lenient with others but very harsh on myself.
Yeah.
Like if I sleep past 6 a.m., I fucking hate myself a little bit. Like if I this doesn't happen, but if I was to like not track my macros one day, it doesn't happen. But if I did, I would for sure hate myself. If you heard the way I talk to myself when I miss something that's important to me, like it would sound like abuse.
I mean, you were like even just coming here, like you were like 10 minutes late. Yeah. You apologized like 4 times.
Oh shit!
I noticed. I don't care at all.
I didn't want to disrespect you and your time.
That's what I'm saying. But like I can tell that's how much you care about it.
Everybody has their own struggles. I don't know what they're going through. But I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm capable of, and if I'm not living to that, that's on me.
Yeah.
And that is not to be accepted. The problem is people, they'll be like, oh man, man, I deserve this. I ate 5 days in a row. I deserve this. And it's like, you're too easy on yourself, because once you slip once, everybody who's went on a diet or a fitness program and they quit, this is how it happened. They let it slip once. For whatever reason, I deserve it, or it's a holiday, or it's this, or it's that, or one day won't hurt you. They say shit like that. Just one won't hurt you. Everything in moderation, right? They let it slip once, then it became easier for them to let it slip the next time they encountered a similar stimuli, whether it's someone else's birthday or whether it's someone else's celebration,
or just a couple cheat days.
Yeah, or a cheat day.
Do you hate cheat days?
Huh?
Do you hate cheat days?
I don't hate them. What I found out, it's easier to be consistent when you don't have cheat days. So my last cheat day was 3 years ago. Yeah, but it's because it's easy. Because here's the thing: when you cheat, when you have a cheat day, I would notice that after having cheat days, the following day I would have cravings.
Yeah,
and maybe up to like 72 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm fighting cravings, and it's more difficult to stick to my diet. I did it because I'm not a punk, right? But it was like way more difficult, and I was using way more discipline than I needed to, and I was like, whoa. And then I finally get back to my diet, and I'm like, cool, the cravings go away. Then I have another cheat day, and I reintroduce the cravings, and I got another 48 to 72 hours of cravings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, why do I keep going through this charade?
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing cheat days, and all the cravings went away. Right. That's how I stopped. When I stopped drinking alcohol, it wasn't like, I have it sometimes. It's just I just stopped doing it 100%, and I don't have cravings.
Before we keep going, I want to take a minute to tell you about Riverside. Now, the majority of podcasts fail within the first year. In fact, most of them don't even make 25 episodes. And the reason for that is it's really hard to grow your podcast when you not only have to record the episode and figure out how to make all of that stuff happen, you also have to record all this additional content to post on social media. I'm not gonna lie, it feels overwhelming to make dozens of pieces of content and put it across all channels and try to make something that's actually good and worth your time. That's where I'm so grateful for my partnership with Riverside. Riverside is a one-stop solution for podcasting. It allows me to upload my content, edit my content, and then make short form clips and newsletter content just from the transcript. And you don't have to be tech savvy to do this. It's literally one click of a button, and you can fix the sound, you can remove filler words, you can create short form clips, you can create medium form clips, you can create newsletter content, and then you can host and distribute your content through Riverside so it gets pushed everywhere. As someone that cares a lot about podcasting and puts a lot of time and effort into making something good that's worth the viewer's attention, Riverside is so helpful and makes it possible for me. I want to encourage you to try it out by clicking the link in the description and using code GRANT for the GROW offer. You'll get 1 month to test this stuff out and see for yourself how much easier this can make your life. Thank you to Riverside for being a partner in this process and making all of this easier for me. Now, let's get back to the episode.
What's something from your childhood that would give me context into what this conversation's about to be?
From my childhood?
Yeah.
I grew up relatively poor on the south side of Chicago.
Okay.
In the 80s and 90s, right? I'm 43. And it was
43?
Yeah, man.
Dude, what?
Thank you.
Dude.
Thank y'all. Yeah, I grew up real poor in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, and it was worse than it is now on the South Side. Like it's like the South Side of Chicago has a very bad reputation now, but sometimes when I look at it, like, oh man, they really cleaned the place up compared to how I grew up. And one of my like very first memories is like my mom walking me to preschool at like 4 a.m, because she used to walk me there in the snow, Chicago snow, right? And then get on a bus because she didn't have a car, right? And go to work. And once we got robbed, gunpoint on the way to way to preschool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like environment I grew up with. They're robbing toddlers
What was your
at the
reaction
break
to
of
that?
dawn. I mean, I don't really remember it so much what my reaction was, except for like anger. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like anger, and I remember my mom being like stressed out, and but I remember like being kind of upset and thinking I want to get strong.
Yeah,
I remember thinking that. I do remember thinking I need to get strong and protect my mom.
Yeah.
A lot of kids who I was friends with in middle school are like not around anymore. A lot of them are in jail, prison, or like dead, like for real. So they sent me away to military school. And here's the thing that's important. Before I went to military school, before I was born, my dad was working on his business. Like my parents were together, he was working on his business. But I didn't see him a whole lot because he was working so hard.
Yeah.
Working so hard. Yep. And my mom worked on the weekends, so I'd be at the office with him. Like he was working super hard and we were still struggling. I got sent away to military school. And that's when it started to take off. Like his business started to work. This is like 16 years of struggle. It finally starts to work.
What was he doing?
He had insurance claims processing business.
Okay.
Right.
Boring.
Yeah. Super boring. Super boring. Like I'd be in this office with some G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Like bored as shit, but anyway, it started to take off when I left. And by the time I graduated, he was making $3 million a year. And that's in like year 2000.
Yeah.
So like in today's money, that'd be like
30 million.
something like that, right? It's big money,
Yeah.
And it was just amazing that I got to see him like through that journey, like go from being like relatively broke, and then 16 years later, it starts to take off. Like how many people would stick to it?
Yeah.
For that long, work that hard for that long.
Yeah.
Not many people. There's a lot of lessons there. And then I didn't experience it though, because I was away at military school. I had to live at that military school.
So you didn't like respect his work ethic. You just felt like he wasn't.
I did respect it. I respected it like a lot. I couldn't believe. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I didn't experience it though, because I didn't experience the wealth part of it. Maybe I saw some during the summer. We would go on like some vacations that were like kind of elaborate.
Yeah.
And then I went to college, right? I went to Howard University in DC. And by the time I graduated from college, he had lost all the money.
For real?
Yeah. And then he killed himself a few years later.
What?
Yeah, he shot himself in the head.
Man.
He lost it all. So it's like I didn't experience any of the wealth, but I knew it happened, and that really inspired me. Both like what to do right and what to do and what not to do. Because making the money is different than keeping it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He indulged in the fruits of his labor a little too much. That was the lesson for me. It's like never take your foot off the gas. Like never think you got it. Never indulge too much in vices or anything, because there's no amount of money you can't fuck up, Like Mike Tyson, I think he like went bankrupt after making like some 200, 300 million.
Yeah.
Same thing with Allen Iverson. He lost like 200, 300 million. And my dad didn't even lose that much, but he lost it all. So there's really no amount of money you can't fuck up. And I think it made me respect actually managing the money, because managing and making it are two different subjects. Yeah.
I perceive you as a highly disciplined person. Did that get instilled younger, or did that get instilled older?
I mean, after I graduated, I started like reading books outside of school, and
like self-help?
Self-help, like Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. That was a real game changer for me. I think reading that at age 17, that's when I graduated from high school. I was 17. And I read that like that summer. And I was like, oh shit. It kind of changed everything for me.
Do you remember anything that like hit it from it?
When Tony's talked about state control and being able to control your own emotions. I think up until then, I was like most people where I just, you just feel how your emotions are dictated by what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
when you're like that, you're actually not in control of your own emotions. But when he's talked about ways to actually control your state, and it was kind of a, like, how did I not notice? How come nobody ever taught me this before?
Yeah.
And you can actually control your emotions to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, like when my dad killed himself, I couldn't just make myself happy. Right. But
you already processed through some stuff. Like, it sounded like you processed through like some depression beforehand, and because you experienced some, like some stuff that you might have like internalized as trauma, but like it probably wasn't like on the surface trauma, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So was that the first time you were like, I got to really process through this stuff?
Like when my father died?
Yeah.
You know what, man? I just started to work because remember, I'm the man of the family, right? And it's the recession.
Yeah.
So I kind of just worked. I didn't really process or, people say, oh, you got to take time to mourn. I don't know. I didn't do a whole lot of that. I just started working. So I started waking up at like 4 a.m., right? 4 or 5 a.m. And I would train people in the morning at the gym, shower at the gym. Then I would go to the Prada store. I got a job at security Prada store. I couldn't get a job, like a good job, even though I had a college degree because everybody was laying people off. It was the recession.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll just do like blue collarish stuff, So I worked security. And then after that, I worked for my boy's moving company.
Did it become normal for you, like that level of like, I'm just going to work my ass off all the time?
Yeah. One thing I noticed was when you're working super hard and your calendar is pretty full with things, it's difficult to indulge in like vices.
Yeah.
Or even negative feelings.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's it's weird. That's when I really started managing my time better because I had to learn how to get all this done each day and still sleep.
Were you like super ambitious? Were you doing this because you were like, was it like scarcity, like I got to protect my family, or were you like, I got to make something of myself?
Initially it was scarcity, and then it grew into I want to get rich. Well, I wanted to get rich.
Yeah.
Before my dad killed himself. I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to get rich.
You saw it.
I saw him do it.
Yeah,
and it made it real. You know? I think about this a lot because I have a son. He's 8. And I think about this all the time. If when people tell their kids, hey, you can be whatever you want, right? If you haven't accomplished something big, they're gonna look at you one or two ways. They're gonna be like, man, that's bullshit, man. right? You get what I'm saying? They're gonna say that's bullshit. Like, why the fuck didn't you?
Yeah, you
right?
Didn't do something
or they're gonna say, damn, this all you wanted? Damn. Like I think about that. And maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm just a psycho.
No, I think it's so true.
Right? But
that's so true.
My dad said you could be whatever you want if you work hard enough.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yeah.
He really did it.
Yeah.
So I believed it.
Yeah.
Like when most people have self-doubt or imposter syndrome, my biggest issue has always been overconfidence. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy who told me the guy who told me I can be whatever I want did it. And I think that's the best gift you can give your kids. Because I coach people now with their business, and imposter syndrome is like a real thing. And I think it's because of that. The people who told them they can do whatever they want didn't accomplish anything big. So like deep down inside, I don't know if they really believe it. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad is a pastor.
Okay.
And so I started making more money than him when I was 18. And it wasn't because I was an investment banker at 18, but I wasn't making a lot. I was making like $60K a year. So it's like I didn't accomplish, but my mom would always tell me like, hey, Grant, you could become a pastor. It was like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they didn't encourage me to do whatever I wanted to do, but the concept of money and making money was never a thing that I thought about ever. It was just like, other people make it, other people have it. And it wasn't until I read my own books and did my own little, like do the own, like personal development stuff.
What book was the
well,
key
actually,
book
it was
for
a
you?
podcast. I have the first podcast I watched that like changed a lot of stuff for me. I was like super depressed. I had like a massive victim mentality. My wife and I had a couple miscarriages back to back, and it was
shit.
like it was
Sorry
like
to hear that,
yeah, it was just really sad. And I was working like what felt like a dead end job. It was pretty much a dead end job, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm very depressed. I would spend like 4 hours looking at a wall, and I came across it was Alex Hormozi on Graham Stephan.
Oh,
I think it was like the
that
second
was
one he
fairly
did.
recent.
Yeah, it was like more. It was like 5 years ago. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was like he had this concept that he talked about called like fuck happiness.
Yeah,
And for me, like I was so caught up in like my own stuff.
yeah,
That the idea of like being like, hey, it doesn't matter how you feel, just do stuff.
yeah.
That was like all I really needed to wake up. And so then I think I read like 25 books that year, and I was like, okay, I'm awake.
All right.
And yeah, after that happened, it was like the ambition kind of woke up. But it took something else. It took me like engaging with content first to like feel like I
that's
actually want to
awesome,
do it.
man.
What do you think about that when it comes to your son? So like, what do you want your son to feel?
My dad did it, and he had less advantages than me. He was an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't even know his parents. You know, he grew up in like foster care and all that shit.
Yeah.
And in Chicago, in gangs, in and out of jail, shit like that. And he was able to figure out, but he had to start from the bottom. I want my son, like he's starting at an even better spot because he didn't grow up on the South Side. He didn't grow up poor. He grew up super middle class. Well, he doesn't know that he's above middle class. He lives with his mom, and they live like a very comfortable middle class looking lifestyle, right? He doesn't know that. Yeah. Well, he said it the other day. He just said, "Dad, but you're rich, Dad." When he tried to give me, I was like, "Oh."
Did he ask for something? He asked for something. He's like, did he ask for something? And he's like,
I was like, "Listen, man, I ain't buying all this shit. You know, it's just too much."
I was going to say no.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
just
thing.
didn't want to carry all this shit because I don't have a car.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I just take Uber everywhere. And we in Atlanta, I was like, I don't want to fuck around with all this shit. That's the reason. That's not because I couldn't afford it. I was like, this is too much shit to carry.
You were trying to teach him discipline.
Nah, I was like, I just want to carry all this shit. You know, then I want to hear his mom be like, "Man, what do you? It's too much shit." You know, and he was like, "But you're rich, Dad."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh shit, who told him? How'd he figure it out?" Because I didn't want him to like know that.
Yeah.
Like, at least till later. You don't want to be because, you know, things can.
We'll talk about that. I have some questions on that.
Yeah, but he's starting off from a way better spot.
Yeah. When did you realize like I got to start a business if I actually want to make money? I mean, to be fair, like 6 figures is decent in 2000s.
Yeah, no,
like, that's a good time, but there's a difference.
It was hard. Like working on this shit was like it was taxing.
Yeah,
like on my body. Like all these jobs, I'm standing the whole time, right, or moving. So you sit down when you're moving because you pack up everybody's shit and you put it in the van and then you drive to wherever you want to go and then you unload it. I would read when I was in the car because I didn't have the Series C license, whatever. You could drive a truck. I don't have that kind of license, so I'd always be in the passenger seat chilling. And I read the 4-Hour Work Week during one of those, and I was like, "Oh, what if I take my fitness business online?" And that was, you got to understand, this is a very novel concept.
Yeah, and also that was probably right when that book came out, right?
Yeah.
It was really. So you were plugged in. You were tapped into the.
Oh yeah, I read that book and I read Crush It by Gary Vee.
Wow,
like simultaneously.
Wow,
like one after another, and they were like new releases in Barnes and Nobles. You know. Barnes and Nobles is a bookstore. Yeah, we used to buy books from stores back in the day. I read that. I was like, what if I took my fitness business online? It sounds normal now, but it was a super novel idea.
Yeah.
And all of us who started doing it at that time, we were like pioneers. You know, I don't want to say I invented it, but I was definitely in that first class, you know. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had some ideas. I started putting it together, and I didn't do what the book really suggested, but it just gave me the idea. And then I read Crush It. I was like, what if I combine these strategies, you know, and use the marketing from Crush It with the ideas from 4-Hour Work Week. Yeah. And that's how I started. And then it was when I decided to start, it was right when I got fired from the product store. Yeah. Yeah. And then I saw, all right, so hey, now I got 40 hours. Yeah. Extra 40 hours to put towards this, you know.
How fast do you grow? Is it tough?
It was difficult because social media was in its infancy. It's so much easier now.
Yeah.
Like I have students who make fucking 10, 20 grand their first week, like honestly.
Yeah.
But back then it was difficult, right? So I had to learn how to edit videos, but I didn't have a good enough computer to really edit HD videos.
Yeah.
Or a camera that shot HD because the iPhone didn't have HD.
Yeah.
And then I had to build a computer. Because building computers was cheaper than buying them.
Yeah.
So I had to build a computer. And then I had to teach myself how to edit videos. I had to pirate.
And there's something for you. You were just thinking like, I need to edit videos.
Yeah.
I need to post them. And I need to have some kind of funnel where people can pay
and then
me.
I had to, because this was, I was doing a lot of studying, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's going to be the marketing. It's going to be video on social media, right? Because YouTube, I don't think Instagram was out, or I don't think it was out at the time. And even when Instagram did come out, it didn't.
It was all photos and stuff.
It was all photos, no reels, nothing, right? So I was like, video, I'm gonna do YouTube, and then Facebook, you could do videos on there too,
So who's telling you to, like, was this just from Crush It? Who's telling you like, hey, this is all the stuff I have to do if I want to grow this business?
We were the pioneers. Everyone was doing it at first, so it was like, who told Lewis and Clark where to go, right?
Yeah.
It's like we had to figure that shit out. It was all trial and error.
Yeah, dude.
We was just going. Lewis and Clark just went west.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into what we get into.
And
that's
so
what I was doing.
What was like the moment that you were like, all right, this is gonna work?
There was never a moment like that. It's working, right? I never had that. It was so gradual. It's very gradual. When I made enough money to quit all the jobs, I still kept the weekend job. Yeah. Because I was like, I was nervous, man.
Yeah.
We just got out of getting out of recession.
Yeah.
I don't know what's about to happen. And then I met a dude named Elliot Holtz. Yeah, fitness dude. And he had just got 1 million YouTube subscribers. And I was like, oh shit, you can do that without being a fucking dork, huh? I didn't think you could do it without being a fucking dork. And he did it. Being kind of like, just like
being himself.
He stopped by Queens. We went to a cigar lounge, and maybe that was the moment. Like when I saw Elliot, this dude is really making money doing this, like real money. And Elliot became kind of like a mentor to me, I think, a little bit. And he gave me like one tip, and I immediately executed it and made like extra like 10 grand.
What did he say? Do you remember?
His brand was called Strength Camp.
Yeah.
And he would always wear these Strength Camp t-shirts, and people would always ask for them. And he said, no, I'm not selling them. And then he said, all right, listen, guys, I'm going to sell them. We're going to have a limited amount of them. And he bundled it with like some workout program or something. If you buy the workout program, you get the Strength Camp shirt, right? He did that and made a ton of money. I don't remember the exact number, right? But what's cool was he told me that he left the cart open for like 48 hours or something. He didn't have none of them printed up.
He did make
they paid for it. They immediately got the digital thing, right?
Yeah.
So they could chill, right?
Yeah.
Then he printed up the shirts and
That's
sold
so smart.
them.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's a loss leader too. That's actually really smart. Yeah.
So we immediately, me and my boy Brian, printed up some shirts that only we was wearing.
Yeah. Dude.
With our branding on it. Only was wearing in like a bunch of videos. And then people started asking for the shirt, and we was wait till they start asking. And we just ran the same play.
And at that time, so like you made enough to replace the 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot was that initial person that was like, oh, this guy's making 7 figures.
Yeah.
What made you feel like, oh, I got to make 7 figures doing this?
Well, Elliot, I was on his email list too, right? And I remember this. He said he was doing a business conference in London. I hit Elliot. I was like, yo, man, can I go to this? He was like, yeah, you can come, but you got to pay. It was cool. I respect that. I get it, And I was like, fuck. And it was like $1,400 to go, which was still a lot of money to me, you know? And $1,400 to go plus a flight to London and a hotel and all this shit. I was like, all right, bet. And I went. I immediately started making more money from the stuff I learned. Like after I came back and implemented, right? So I was there a 2-day conference, and I met 2 of his business partners. One was Matt Rule and Dave Gallant. It was Matt Gallant and Dave Rule, right? And Canadian dudes who were like actually Ellie's business partners. I didn't even know he had business partners, right? But they were like running a lot of the back end stuff for his things, allowing him to like do what he does best.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh shit. And then I got really cool with Matt, and Matt became like one of my mentors. And I immediately implemented everything they said. Income tripled, like immediately. You know what I'm saying? That's when he started teaching me about how to kind of optimize email copy, how to split test things, optimizing like product launches and
which
things
is
of that
so funny
nature,
because like that, all those little details are not things you're thinking like I'm supposed to be selling workout training stuff, and you're like, no, I gotta split test this shit. Like that's crazy. That's so much detail when it's like probably you got into it being like, I just want to teach more people about this stuff. I
just want to figure it out. You know, and after I tripled my income, then I went to Matt, right, and I said, Matt, listen, how much I got to charge you to like mentor me? He wasn't really doing that, but I was asking him. He's like, all right, man, pay me. I think I paid him like $2,000 a month, right? And all I got with that was like bi-weekly Skype calls with him. That's it. Like 2 Skype calls a month. Yeah. Basically, he's charging me $1,000 an hour for Skype calls, right? And I guess that made it worth his while, right? Yeah. And but that was the first year we got over $1 million.
Man.
It just implement what Matt says. Matt really, he's really like a big mentor to me. Matt's company called BioOptimizer. He has a supplement brand. And maybe like 2 years ago, I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, we did over 50 mil. So he's still crushing it.
He's just doing his thing.
Yeah, so he's not mentoring motherfuckers for $2,000 a month anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, and did you hire a team or no?
Yeah, no. I had to build a team to get to $1 million. I've only met one person in my whole life who built a $1-person $1 million business. Have you met many people who've done that?
I'm meeting more, but with tech stuff, it's getting easier and easier. Like the OpenClaw guy. Do you hear about that?
It's like $1 billion, right?
He sold $1 billion. He sold it for $1 billion bucks.
The one
and it only took 7 months.
A 1-person $1 billion.
Yeah, first one. You obviously, once you saw someone did it, it seems like each time you see someone do something, you're like, I want to do that. Why can't I do that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It made it real. Because I don't think it's real until you see it. You know?
Like for you, it didn't unlock until you were like Elliot. And then,
when I saw Elliot, I was like, oh, it can be done.
Since then, has it been pretty easy sailing?
No. What?
Yeah, that's my. Give me some context there, dude.
Yeah, it's just been a breeze, man. You know, just like everyone else, I've just been strolling to my goals, climbing up the mountain of victory. Not really any challenges.
Kind of looks like it. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's deliberate as well. Yeah, you know, like if you hear about anything I'm going through, you'll hear about it after I went through it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be. You ever see these guys like crying on the internet?
I don't care.
They're the worst. Yeah. What makes you turn on what makes a motherfucker turn on? What makes a motherfucker be like, you know what? I feel bad.
I gotta be real.
Start crying. Then edit it.
Then edit it and post it.
Post it to Instagram. Put a caption on it and say, you know what? Everyone I know needs to see this. Yeah. Bam. You motherfuckers are the worst.
So you're telling me you made $1 million in a year. Did you coast on that million? Like, was it like we made it, we got it, we're here?
Somebody told me this a long time ago, or maybe I read it or stole it from somebody, I don't know. But every level is a new devil. Entrepreneurship is so hard. The reason most businesses fail is because you have to have so many different skill sets. Like, you know this, right? You got to have a good product or service. Yeah. Right? You got to be good at delivering that. Yeah. Then you have to learn marketing. Then you have to be good at sales. Then you have to be, know how to handle customers. Yeah. You got to learn how to retain customers. Yeah. There's so many different skill sets you have to have. Yeah. To be good, because initially it's typically you're a solopreneur.
You were up leveling so fast though.
Yeah.
And you sound like you were someone that's like, hey, can I get some help? And then the best part is like, there's a lot of people that are like, hey, can I get some help? But people that help people hate working with people that don't apply it.
Oh, and you were like, the thing. So that is the thing.
I'm sure it was like, this kid's actually going to do the stuff I'm going to tell him. And I was feeling that too.
Honestly, man, I think initially Elliot was just, we had a little bit of a friendship as well, and I think he saw something in me, And then I applied what he said for sure, And but make no mistake, for like the real sauce, he probably forgot he even gave me for the real sauce. I paid him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Matt, I paid him. So anytime there's something serious for me, man, I don't ask people to do things for me for free if it's important.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lesson I learned, because one, I don't want them to treat it like it's a favor. It's important to me, and I want to get the best out of them. And I feel like they got to be compensated a little bit, to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because even if they do like you and care about you and they do it for free, they still have to, it'd be irresponsible for them not to prioritize the things they're getting paid for. So you can't be a priority.
Yeah.
But to your point, every level is a new devil. So after I learned all those skills, became, started making like into six figures to get to $1 million. Now I have to hire people. That's another skill. Right.
Yeah.
Then I got to manage people.
Yeah.
That's another skill.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of trial, and I bumped my head a lot of times.
And at that point, you're not doing it's not like you're doing some coaching sessions for, $10K a month and you have a few clients.
Yeah.
You have a whole conglomerate.
Yes. And just running teams is a different skill set as well.
Yeah.
So every level there's a new devil. You gotta learn new skills to level up. And there's always going to be new challenges, and you kind of have to grow.
Yeah.
You have to, I tell people, when you're setting goals, it shouldn't be goals that you're currently capable of accomplishing. You get what I'm saying? They should be outside of the goals you set should be outside of your current capabilities, because that's going to force you to grow. Right? If you only set goals for things you can't accomplish now, there's no reason for you to get better or to grow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like the pot. It's kind of like the plant will only get as big as the pot it's in. You know what I'm saying?
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So were you discontent? You hit the marks, and then were you discontent? You were like, all right, new goals, new levels. I've talked to some people that they're like, no matter whatever they hit, it's almost like it doesn't matter. They're like, what's next?
I remember I had hit a level where I was like my richest friend, my friend who made the most money. And that felt kind of weird, one weird, because it was like, I felt like there was no one to ask for advice except for like maybe like the people I paid or mentors, but I didn't want to bug them, too much, Then I actually made some friends who had way more money than me. And then I was like, oh shit, let me go do more. So one of my friends was named Elliot. I'm sorry. His name was Owen Cook. And Owen had a company called Real Social Dynamics. They were like a dating coach company, and they were doing like 10 mil a year. And I was like, oh shit, this is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
This is different.
Yeah.
All right. And that kind of just pushed me. And you become like the people you're around.
Yeah.
Right. So if you start making friends with people who are excelling in certain areas, you're probably going to do better in those areas.
Yeah.
Right. There was a study I read. Have you ever read this study? Well, let me tell you about this one. Let me tell you about this one. This shit fucks with you.
Okay.
All right. Let's say me and you are boys.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say we didn't
I think we're there.
Man,
Come on.
Let's go. Okay. Now we boys. If I get fat, you got like a 40% chance of getting fat.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't know none of your friends.
Yeah.
You live in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
I don't know nobody in Nashville. If one of your boys, let's say one of your boys gets fat in Nashville, I don't even have to know him. The studies show I have a 20% chance of getting
for real,
becoming obese.
just because we're friends, just because of the link.
Yeah. There's something to the study, man. You become like the people you're around.
Yeah,
like
I can see
for
that.
sure. You start you've seen it, man, on a micro level. Like, you ever go in a room and somebody's all pissed and he changes the fucking whole energy in the room, or you see a fucking puppy run in a room or a happy child, everybody lights up.
Yeah.
It's everything is kind of contagious to a certain extent. So when you're around people who are like really balling and really doing well, you're going to pick up a lot of their habits inadvertently. And the same thing is when you are doing bad, there's a reason, when I go to south side of Chicago where I'm from, you know, you can feel like it's palpable in the air. You can feel the desperation. You can feel the almost sorrow and hopelessness. You know, you can feel it. And I know them kids don't think they're gonna grow up to be fucking hedge fund managers, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you don't feel like you have a future, if you don't know nobody who's doing anything big, and everybody you know is dying or going to jail or on drugs or something, then yeah, I might as well join this gang and shoot up this block, right? Yeah. Because it's like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah. You know,
I just talked to somebody.
It feels hopeless.
I talked to somebody that's exactly what they had. He was in L.A. And his dad was abusive, and his mom kind of let it happen. And then when he was 12 or 13, the coolest person he saw was a gang leader. Yeah. And so he joined a gang at 13 and he ended up spending, I think 12 years in prison. Yeah. And so it was like, but that was, and even when he got out of prison each time, it was like not an option for him to like be straight. He was like, this is all the cool people I know, all the friends I know, everybody that's like cool is, this is the only people that are making money, only people that are respected in the community are the people that are doing the crimes. Yeah. So he was like, I just got to keep doing it.
That was probably the best thing about getting sent to military school, honestly. Like when I saw my friends whose dad was rich, foot doctor. Yeah. And then I went to college. Yeah. So and then you go to college, it's kids with different ambition. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And that kind of and a different level of kid, you know? Like, because when I think about my friends who didn't go to college and who did go to college, where they are now, there's been some different outcomes. Yeah. It's a different set of it's a drastically different set of outcomes on average.
And it's like, if you're not out, get yourself out. Like if you're not, if you're surrounded by that, you have to figure out, like, you woke up to something pretty young. Yeah. Something was in you pretty young. You were like, I gotta figure this out. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna take this on myself.
But it was because they put me in a different environment. Yeah. You know, I don't know if I would have saw that. I might have been like your friend and saw like the coolest, matter of fact, the coolest dude I knew before that was a gang. I don't want to say his name because I ain't out here snitching on him. But he used to date my babysitter, and he was a gang leader. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was the man. You know, but
that's awesome.
I would have definitely wanted to be in this gang.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
And it'd been easy for me.
Yeah, because it's like, who has the cars, who has the money, who has the stuff, who's the status. What's changed since you evolved to that point where you made your first $1 million to where you've been the last few years?
You know, finding the right people, retaining people, managing, you know, all these things are challenges that you have to deal with. And, you know, I don't know if everybody's cut out for that kind of entrepreneurship. Yeah. And I'm not one of these guys who says, yo, if you work for someone else, you're a loser. Or like, no, I am not. You got to be kind of crazy to want to be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying?
At that level.
Yeah, because it's like all the pressure is on you, you know? Like all the pressure is on you. And, you know, there's been months where like I don't pay myself, right? Because I'm investing in the business, but everyone else got to get paid, you know? And there's been years where I've had to pay like my sales team more than my salespeople more than I pay myself. You know what I'm saying? Because as an entrepreneur, you get what's left. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that'd be a mind fuck for a lot of people to have to do that, you know, or years you don't get paid, or sometimes you have to put your own money back in the business because like shit went wrong. Not only did you not get paid, you paid to work. Yeah. Like that's I think that would be a real mind fuck for a lot of people. And it would be difficult for some people to comprehend, you know?
Was there a point where you stopped making like scarcity decisions?
Nah, because like I said before, my biggest problem was always overconfidence. It was never like self-doubt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was never like, I never had that problem. If anything, I would go too hard too soon, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
So because you live with such an abundant mindset.
I just believed, man. I just believed that within reason, there's nothing I can't accomplish. You know, I really believe that.
Tell me a story about your first like mess up, your first big, like, I messed this up and now I have to find it. Like, it's a big financial issue.
There was one point where I had multiple businesses going on. I was doing online training. We had a supplement line as well, right? I started a meal prep company in New York. is keto meal prep company. And I also had a marketing agency where I would manage influencers. So like when influencers wanted to put out their product, fitness influencers, I would help them put their product together. Me and my team would. We edit it, film it, put it out, help them plan it, I'd pay for all the ads, and then we split the profits, right? So that's a lot of shit, you know? Yeah. And then, it was funny, man. I was talking to Hormozi, and this might have been 2018 or 2019. 2019. But I was talking to him. He's like, man, how much money you make last year? I was like, yeah, like $2.5 million. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that's pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, And he's like, oh man, that's cool, man. Listen, last year I made 30 million. I'm like, oh shit. God. Did he just call me a bitch? Yeah. He didn't call me a bitch, but it felt like he called me a bitch. That's how I took it.
Are you taller than him? And you're like you just shrunk down a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, oh. And we were on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay. And and he said, listen, man, you got too much going on, man. You should just do one thing and focus on it. And I realized that was a mistake I made at that point, So I was like, I shut everything down. I didn't like working with influencers anyway. It was profitable, but I didn't like working with influencers. The keto meal prep company, it wasn't really making enough money, so I said, fuck it. And I said, I'm just going to focus on what's exciting me most right now, helping people build their online fitness businesses. Yeah. And man, the next year, revenue tripled.
That's awesome.
Without
awesome.
More work.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh shit, imagine had I not spread myself thin all these years, Funny story about that. The reason we were talking is because Hormozi wanted to bring me on as an affiliate for another company he was starting. Right. So he told me not to do it, but he was starting a meal prep company, a supplement line.
And the supplement line he did is doing really well. It's Prestige Labs, right?
Prestige Labs. And the other one. And he was doing the thing he said I should stop, right? Yeah. And then later on I saw him in the video where he said he shouldn't have did that.
He shouldn't have.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, like the irony of that is not lost on me because I think every entrepreneur.
Well, because someone that made 100 million looked at him making 30 million and said, "You're a broke little bitch."
Yeah. So and he had to consolidate. Something must have happened. But he realized that, oh man, in retrospect, he wouldn't have did that. Yeah. I heard him say something to that effect. Yeah. But he was doing it. The reason we were talking. It's because he wanted me to help him do it.
That's so funny.
The thing he was telling me not to do.
That's so
and then
funny.
He said he shouldn't do it. And I always, I don't know, once a month or at least once a quarter, I end up talking some entrepreneur off the ledge of starting 8 more businesses. Yeah. I don't know what it is about people who start things.
Yeah. Well, it's because I think you kind of grow to hate the thing you start. Like at a certain tier, you're like, this is like a lot of work. It's too much. And you get this like greener grass type of thing where it's like, that sounds so easy. Comparatively to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Did COVID crush for online fitness? Was that like a really great time?
Man. COVID, aside from the people dying, it was the best year of my life.
Take me back. Take me back to the time.
And when they would talk about when they was worried about monkeypox.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, please, man.
For someone that with a time like that, because it's like there's so much uncertainty with it, that if you're saying like you never had a scarcity mindset, and then suddenly you're getting flooded with like cash and flooded with opportunities, did you feel like, oh my goodness, it's just not going to stop? It's going to stay here? Because there's a certain point where all of that plateaued.
I always tell people this, man. Listen, guys, just because you're making money now off whatever thing you have, you don't know what's going to happen next year.
Yeah.
Right. I've been through enough cycles where I was like, what you need to do now is not go to Ibiza and buy fucking and increase your standard of living a bunch, because you don't know how long this wave is going to last. You don't know, other people see you making money. They're going to be more copycats. There's going to be more competition. It's I'm super reluctant to increase my cost of living. Because,
Yeah.
like I'll buy one-time thing, like this watch, buy once.
Did you feel it? You wanted that.
Yeah. I just really like watches, man. Some people say it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I believe it. It's not worth it to them. Did you like
vision board that or anything like that? Or was it just kind of like a cool thing?
Nah, it was to mark, like all my watches are like, my expensive watches are typically like trophies. Like I use them to mark big achievements.
Yeah. Let's go through some money tiers.
Yeah.
And give me a quick,
go for it.
Give me a quick list. So say I'm a broke person and I'm making under 100K. What watch am I getting?
Oh, listen, just because if you're making under 100K, that doesn't mean you're broke, right? The average person makes 50K a year, right? So if you're above the average, listen, man, you doing all right.
You shouldn't
man.
be spending 10,000 plus on watches.
No. Like you making under 100K a year, and you want a nice Swiss watch.
I want someone to look at me and say, "Nice watch."
Nice watch. Okay, if you want that responsibly, if we're being like super responsible, get yourself a Tissot PRX.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get one.
Oh yeah, is that the one with like the blue dial, the green?
They have different color dials. You can get one of those. The quartz one, right? You can get for like $300, and if you get the automatic one, you get it for like $800 or something. It's a very nice watch. I have one of those.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? It's a nice watch. I think you get respect from the watch community even with that watch.
Okay. And then let's say I'm making 15K a month.
Hey.
15K a month. So I just doubled up.
15K a month. All right.
15K a month. So I'm making like I'm like probably in the range of like I have a really, really good job, a middle manager, or like I'm a developer or something like that.
And the goal is still nice watch.
Nice watch. I want to feel good about it too.
You can do a lot at that range, right?
Right, because like what would you say responsibly? Am I spending like $2,000 to $3,000?
You could probably go to like 4 or something like that because you make it like 15K a month.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Sure. Okay, so
like people,
is there more watches on that lower tier or no? Is that?
Oh yeah, we can do way more stuff in the lower tier.
Give me something on the lower tier then before we get there.
Well,
give me some more.
Lower,
back up,
like in the $1,000 range.
In the $1,000 range, yeah. So if we say that the G-Shock and the PRX is like that's the low tier.
I mean, G-Shock is low, right? G-Shock is like high school.
They're $350.
Oh, you mean the metal G-Shock?
Yeah, the
okay,
nice
yeah, the metal ones. Yeah. Okay,
they're not bad.
Yeah, my fault. I was sorry because
you disrespected my watch, bro. I bought it because of you.
No, you're right.
That's tough.
They have some G-Shocks that are like $4,000.
Do they actually?
Yeah, they yeah.
I didn't know that.
Intense.
I didn't know that.
It's intense.
That's crazy.
But in that $1,000 range, this is a great brand called Christopher Ward.
Okay.
They make a lot of watches at around maybe a little bit more expensive than the PRX. One called the 12 that people really like a lot. You know, I don't like it just because I feel like it's trying too hard.
Okay, but is there a lot of watches at that tier that you're like, oh, nice watch, dude? Like, because if at your level where you'd recognize that.
Yeah, me, I'm a watch guy though.
Yeah,
right. So
even if it's
PRX for sure, you're gonna get my attention. Any Christopher Ward watch is a British independent brand. They make nice watches, man. There's another watch brand. I have 2 of their watches. It's called Studio Underdog, and only watch guys would know about this shit. But they're like popular in that community.
Yeah. There's the next tier, the 10 to 15K. You're spending a few $1,000s.
So here's this is going to be a hot take. I think you should skip everything in between 1,000 and 7,000. Like you can skip all those brands.
Really?
Yeah. This is a personal thing. Some people would
sure.
A lot of people disagree with me. Tissot PRX, just save up. Even if you got to save up years or wait years or wait till you get your money right.
For a while.
Just chill. That watch will hold you down for a long time. Skip all the other brands.
Okay.
Go straight to Cartier.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Go straight to Cartier. You can get a Santos for like $7,000, and it's not only it got the brand recognition, but also had the heritage. It was like the first men's wristwatch ever.
Yeah.
And it's you get 100 meters water resistance. They have this thing where you can switch the straps.
Okay.
Right, quickly, very quickly.
Yeah.
And They give you a second strap when you buy it, so now you got 2 watches.
Yeah, and then what's a tier where we can start being balling? Is that, would you say like $25K a month is when you're like, let's do some stuff?
I mean, that's going super hard. Yeah, you know, it's either you can be.
If you're living in Miami, you got to be doing something around there, and then you're wanting to buy a watch.
Oh yeah, you want to buy a watch. I mean, listen, honestly, you can't go wrong with the Santos. Honestly.
How long does that last you? You're skipping all Rolexes. You're skipping.
Yeah. You can go to Rolex after that. There's a lot of Rolexes. You know, you really got to go like 10 grand.
Yeah, okay.
Right. But then you can go they have a wide range, right?
Yeah.
So you can go somewhere over there at that point. You know, if you want to set some sort of Rolex, or that's probably the next stop. You know, you could do Omega at some point if you wanted to, man, but. Every time I think about buying an Omega, I just can't justify the purchase. I feel like I like them. I like them. I like Omega. I like Breitling. And I like all them other brands. It's just I never pulled a trigger.
What is it? Is that the only gap between like that and balling where you should save up and get something that's crazy?
I'll never pay this much for a watch again. I don't think I'll ever pay over 50 grand for a watch again.
Why?
Because diminishing marginal utility. You know, for example, a $10,000 watch. It's typically not 10 times better than a $1,000 watch. It's better, but it's not 10 times better.
I want to pivot the conversation because I feel like I feel like you're a good person to ask, and I think when I see your content, I think people vibe with you even more so than they vibe with the information you give. I'm really curious, and you can nix this. I just have some questions on like. I would say like masculinity, because we've been kind of like going through the concept of like discipline. Questions I have is like, I'm curious what your perspective is, because you're in Miami. So in a lot of ways, you're like embedded within this whole ecosystem. But I think you also are pretty balanced. You're pretty measured. And I think from what I've experienced, you don't necessarily like talk down to people. No. Even in this conversation, you're like, I said like someone that's only making 100K. And you're like, dude, 100K is a lot of money for some people. And I think that's not a perspective that a lot of people would have when I talk to them in Miami.
Yeah. You know what, man? My problem with a lot of the manosphere or red pill community is masculinity has been confused with cruelty. You know, it's almost like you to be masculine, you have to be mean.
Yeah, abusive.
You know, and I'm just never been a fan of that. At all, and maybe I'm just old, right? But the way I was raised, like that was the opposite of masculinity. You know, like I was somebody growing up when I was in military school. If I saw like a kid getting picked on, I'm fighting the bully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now it seems as if mean and masculinity are almost synonymous. Like the other day, the president was talking about somebody who died. He said, "I'm glad he's dead." And I was like, "Yo, what? This is not cool, man."
Yeah.
Like I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I really dislike it because you can get your point across without having to put others down, without having to be cruel to other people as well. You know,
100%.
It's one thing to disagree with these girls, but to try to like clown them and demean them, and you know, and when I've been a guest on Fresh and Fit. I remember once a girl said something, and I said, "Yo, that's a good point." And all the comments were like, "Simp, simp, simp." I'm like, I wasn't kissing her ass. Like,
trying to be respectful.
I'm just. That's what I would say to any human who says something good, you know. But it's like there's a certain segment of the population that believes to be masculine, you have to be cruel, and I just don't believe that's the case.
What do you think? What do you think masculinity should look like? What are some traits?
You know, in my experience, it should be like protecting people who are weaker than you. That's what Jesus would do, right? Like he wasn't like laughing at the lepers. Like, I look at you. Jesus wasn't like, "Yeah, man, you got leprosy, man. What's wrong with you?" Now what'd he do? He healed them, right? And taught. And then when his boys
hang out with prostitutes, spend time with them. Yeah, dude, he was in there.
When his boys went out to heal the lepers and they came back and said, "Oh, we couldn't heal them, Jesus," right? He didn't say, "You guys, because you guys are simps.
Yeah.
You guys are not alpha." Nah, I mean, he clowned them a little bit. He said, ye of little faith, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you had the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains, right? But he wasn't, he only clowned them a little bit. He wasn't demeaning them. He just said, "You got little faith."
He's preaching right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I love
like
that.
It wasn't, he didn't laugh at what's the homie who tried to walk on water with him?
Oh yeah. Was it Peter?
Peter, yeah. Pete, man. Pete, he walked. People forget about this. He walked on water for a second.
Yeah.
But then he looked down, he got shook and scared. Jesus was like, just because you a simp, man, toughen up.
Yeah.
Take your shirt off, wear your abs. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't doing all that shit. You know, he just got he coached him through it, man.
Yeah.
Yo, why? Yeah. You know, he coached him.
And he reached out his hand.
Yeah, he reached out his hand. Like that's how I was raised.
Well, what do you think about when it comes? I got 2 boys. They're young. They're like I got a 3-year-old and then is almost 1. Mm-hmm. And so I think about this a lot because I get scared about it because I'm like, first off, it's so crazy to see how much like teens and just kids get influenced by stuff that like, and to be honest, like I'm thinking about when this all started, like Tate started so much with it.
Yeah.
And it was in response to like, not just feminism, but like anti-masculinity, anti-good masculinity. And a lot of the stuff that was coming out initially in this whole like red pill space was like really good. Yeah. It was like, because it spoke to something that was like, it spoke to a guys that were like, I don't want to be, I want to feel bad for wanting to be a man in the room. Yeah. I don't want to feel bad for wanting to be tough and wanting to protect people. I don't want to feel bad for that. And so there's aspects of truth that just went kind of extreme, but there's whole demographics of people that just like, that got lost in the sauce with it. They don't have that balance. I get really scared about with my kids because it's like, I don't know, the burden falls on me to like represent that. Yeah. Do you think about that at all?
Okay, I have 2 thoughts on this. One, I feel like for me to have the most influence on my son, I have to really be the best version of myself as I can, whether that's financially, physically, you know, emotionally, you know, just in general, I had to be the man to him because my dad was like that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the man. Maybe not physically, he was always a little overweight, you know, but he was still the man to me, right? For example, I had a friend who was like, he was talking to me. He has an older son, right? In high school. He's like, yeah, man, I'm trying to get through to him, but he's not really listening. You know, he's not really like heeding my advice. And I was like, yeah, man, it's because you fat. You fat, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, you out of shape. You look, I mean, I wouldn't take advice from you neither, man. Like he's just, of course not, motherfucker. You're not admirable to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's something to that. I'm not saying
just because you're the dad doesn't mean you deserve the respect.
It doesn't mean he loves you, right? Yeah. There's a difference between love and admiration. Yeah. You know, I love my grandma. You know, okay. Well, I love my son, but I don't admire him yet, right? He hasn't earned my admiration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he just learned to not fucking piss his pants, right? Like fairly recently.
Good. That's good though.
Yeah, that's good. But it's not like it's good. It's good. The kid his age built my phone, right? So it's all perspective. Yeah, you can color and not piss on yourself, but a motherfucker your age built my phone. So like there's levels.
They're mining. They're out there mining stuff for me right now, dog.
Bro, there's levels. As fathers, it's up to for us to be more influential to our kids. We have to live lives that are more admirable.
Yeah,
these things move in cycles, right? So, I call this the bully victim cycle, right? So, for example, the Me Too movement started. Because, you know, there was like legitimately some bad things happening to like different women, you know. What happened was, thankfully that got brought to light and, you know, some of those guys were being punished, but it started going too far. Like it started going a little too far. Yeah. And it got, now it's just being a man was whack. Yeah. Right. And then the victims became like almost like the bullies to a certain extent, right? Yeah. And then out of that, now if they're the bullies, then now men start to feel like they're the victims. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then boom, perfect storm, then Trump gets elected around that time, Tate comes out, all this stuff happens, and it's like now they get some power, then they become the bullies. Yeah. Right. And that's the part of the cycle we're in now. Yeah. Where the former victims are the bullies. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
When I remember when I was in military school, I told you I would defend like the kids who got bullied. You know, I would like fight the bullies for them. Yeah. Right. That was like, you know, not so much because I liked them or I was a nice guy. It's just, you know, I was an angry kid and I wanted to fight if I needed a good reason.
You needed a good bad guy.
I needed a good reason to fight because I consider myself a good person.
Yeah.
So they gave me that. But then the kid, the fucking nerds started thinking it was okay for them to be assholes because, Carter's going to defend me. I was like, no, motherfucker, you're an asshole. Right. But they almost like they got a little fucking full of themselves. Now I can be a dick.
Yeah.
and that's what I see now, right? Like, when men started feeling like they were victims to a certain degree. Now they got more, now there's more, they get bigger and their movement gets big and now they become the bullies. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
I think that's where we're at right now.
Do you think, what do you think is like an accurate response? Because like we're talking, that's kind of like a macro level.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it as like an individual person.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the fact that there's some guys that do need to just like wake up and be a man? Because like there's a combination of that. There's a lot of guys that also just are in that victim mentality and all they're being told is being a man, all they're seeing online, if they're like an incel type and they're like, I have to be as aggressive as these guys or as abusive as these guys. How do you, in an appropriate way, just like help someone just like learn how to be disciplined? Like what's the step one?
I think one way is to take responsibility for your own life. Start taking responsibility for your own outcomes. If you're blaming everything on feminism or if you're blaming everything on other people, then the victim mentality becomes a part of your personality. But I always thought, man, no matter what happens, no matter what situation I'm finding myself in, I'm gonna find a way to win. No matter who wins this election, I'm gonna find a way to win. And whatever circumstances I'm in, I'm gonna find a way to win. And because of that, I never looked at it like I'm a victim. I'm gonna be victorious. So no matter what.
You didn't do that when your dad died.
Yeah, exactly. When my dad died, I was like, listen, I got to find a way to win.
Yeah.
I had a good excuse to like sit around and cry.
Yeah.
And sit around and fail too, right? Like I think, damn, my dad died right before the recession.
Yeah.
Like
no one hated you for falling out.
It was. I think that would have been a real good excuse, and but I just feel like if it's going to be, then it's up to me. Never let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always, there's always going to be somebody who has different advantages you don't have.
What do you think about procrastinators?
I've coached a lot of people and I've seen procrastination be a result of paralysis of analysis, not knowing where to go. Or sometimes not being organized. And you ever had like a bunch of shit to do, but you don't have it written down in order?
Dude, that's me.
And you end up doing nothing.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
that's a big thing.
That was me last night. I fell asleep at 8 because I was like, I had so much and I was like, I'm just tired.
What helps me is, again, I gotta bring it back to planning every hour of every day in your calendar. If you start planning it out, then and you're not going to be good at adhering to it first, but once you start getting good at it, it's like, it kind of takes you out of that. Like, for example, if I showed you my calendar, this is what the month look like,
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, can I look at this?
Yeah, you can look at it. The whole day is not planned out, but this hour is,
Can I say some of these things that you have blocked out?
Say some.
Some of them. So you have like trainings. You have time to trade. You have time to post. You have time to do accounting. You have time to plan out content.
Yeah.
You have time to FaceTime your son. That's really dope.
Dude. Yeah, because he lives in a different state, right?
Dude, that's so cool, dude. And you have time, and you have prep for bed. Plus shower and dinner. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's in like 15 to 30 minute increments.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Listen, this is a cheat code for me, if I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is like a legitimate cheat code. This is my number one success hack.
Yeah.
Because, Bruce Lee said, if you love life, don't waste time, because time is what life is made of. Right? And if you're not, okay. You ever seen somebody like freestyle rap off the top of their head?
Yeah.
Right. Even the best one, the best freestyle rapper, it's probably his written raps that he spent time on are probably going to be better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are freestyling their days. They're freestyling days.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people.
The best freestyler is never going to beat the best one that's written.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just going to be different. And that's how if you start approaching your days like that, shit will change, and it will get rid of a lot of the procrastination, because because like you said, you have a bunch of stuff you don't know where to start. Well, shit will start to be in order.
Yeah.
Right. Then now I know what to do. And you'll feel more focused. You'll feel more, because you are more focused, right? And you know what to do. Another thing that happens, and this was something I didn't expect when I first started doing this, almost all your bad habits will just go away. You know, like when people make these elaborate declarations, now I'm going to stop smoking, or now I'm going to stop doing this, right? No fap, or fucking no nut November, all this fucking wild shit. And I'm like, I accidentally stopped drinking and doing recreational drugs when I started doing this because it wasn't in the calendar. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, you didn't make time for it.
Because my day was packed full of productivity.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or recreation that's meaningful, you know? And
intentional recreation, that's the first time I've heard that kind of concept.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because like you don't feel bad about doing the work because you know you're gonna. Yeah. There's a time when you're like, I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, you have it planned out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So all you guys who want to stop playing video games or stop masturbating or stop drinking or whatever, just start planning every hour of every day in your calendar. You don't have to make a big ceremony about it. It'll happen almost on accident.
Yeah, Do you approach discipline the same?
I think life is a lot simpler than people give it credit for. And I think it's all math. For example, if you are overweight, right, and you want to lose weight, then all we got to do is make sure you're burning more calories than you consume. For example, every pound of fat you want to lose, you have to burn an extra 3,500 calories, right? So we can put you in a caloric deficit of 500 calorie caloric deficit 7 days in a row. Boom, you should lose a pound of fat, right? And if we want to lose 2 pounds of fat per week, then we need to put you in a 1,000 calorie deficit, right? Every day, and you lose 2 pounds of fat per week. It's just math. So what we would have to do is start measuring things. So not only do I plan every hour of every day in my calendar, but I track metrics. I think it's very important. So, what I would do is I would get some sort of fitness tracker. I use the Oura Ring, but you can use Apple Watch, whatever. They're not 100% accurate or even close, but it gives you a good barometer, right?
Yeah.
And then also get MyFitnessPal or something like it and start tracking how many calories you consume each day. And if you start doing it, just make sure you're burning 500 to 1,000 calories more than you consume each day. You should start losing weight. It's just math. That will work for every human, every mammal, possibly lizards and reptiles. I never trained one of those, so I don't want to say. But definitely mammals. I used to have a fat cat, and I got him to lose some weight. I got him to lose a little weight.
You walked
tracking his macros, man. People overcomplicate it. All you got to do is figure out what the inputs are, track them, and make sure you're hitting your KPIs. And this is what almost any goal.
Is that same with money?
I think it's the same with money too.
So like you have people coming to you and say, I want to make $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Do you kind of tell them the same kind of thought process?
Yeah, we kind of start working it backwards. Like it depends on what their business is. All right, what's your close rate? Boom. Yeah. Let's assume your close rate stays the same. Just how many leads we need. You know what I'm saying? Like we can look at it all.
But most people they don't even know those details.
They don't know those details.
They don't know.
And that's one of the things with my coaching program. Like we help them set that stuff up so we know the details. So when we come to us, all right, man, what's your close rate? How many leads you get per this week? How many of those leads converted into sales calls? What was your close rate on the sales calls? Right? How long what's the average lifetime value of the customer? Like these are things that we figure out. We help them figure out.
Yeah.
So they can run it like a real business instead of just fucking side hustle and hustle.
There's someone out here though that's I think I like to talk to this person.
Mm-hmm.
I think people usually will watch this type of stuff is like they're already entrepreneurial.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, let's like pretend like it's someone that is a little bit overweight. They're sitting at their desk at their corporate gig. It's decent money, but they realize they're like, I keep listening to these types of podcasts and I want to be like these guys. I want to be like Brandon. I want to do the things where it's like, I know how to hustle. I know how to do all this stuff, but I've got these like golden-ish handcuffs where I'm making ends meet and I'm not reaching my potential. What do you say to a guy like that? Because like there's a few things in my opinion that have to unlock mentally before they're even able to just do the inputs.
Okay, so his goal is to be an entrepreneur. He wants to leave his okay.
Yeah. His goal is his goal is to make, like you kind of felt like when you were working all the 5 jobs, like, I want to make real money.
Yeah.
I'm making okay money. I want to make real money.
Yeah. Well, first we need to decide on what vehicle he wants to take, like what business, and maybe he has that, maybe he's not, but he needs to figure out what vehicle he wants to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then really start moving in that in a part-time kind of way, right? So what he's going to have to do is, I don't know if he has kids or not, right? If he doesn't have kids, it's going to be way easier.
Yeah.
But he's got to start. Then he's really got to start planning out every hour of every day. Because remember, everybody has 168 hours in every week, right? If you sleep 8 hours a week, that's going to leave you with 112. If he works 40 hours a week, then that means he's going to have 32 hours left, right? So he needs to allocate as many of those 32 hours as he can per week to his business, at least 20 of them, right? So it's like he's got a part-time job on top of his full-time job.
Yeah.
At least 20 of those hours. And then he still has time with his girlfriend, kids, or whatever, but you're going to put in the reps,
Yeah.
And lose at least 20 of those extra hours to work on his business.
What do you think, like, mentally? Because, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Because I guess for you, again, you were like, you weren't scarcity. And when you face, like, friction and obstacles, you're like, I got this. I'm just going to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like for you, I guess, like, the getting started part wasn't terrifying for you?
No, it wasn't.
Do you experience a lot of people where they feel scared about it?
Oh, yeah, they're scared, especially if they, like, posting on social media makes people scared.
Yeah.
It's putting themselves out there scares people. And I would say that, that's normal. Like, you don't need less fear. You need more courage. Like, courage means you act in spite of the fear, right? And if you are scared to move in a direction you've never been in, if you have trepidation when it comes to going after a goal in an arena you've never set foot in, that's the sign that you are a healthy, mentally healthy person, right? Because there's no reason for you to want to do it. Like I've never done plumbing before, not once, right? So if something happens to one of the pipes under my sink, hey, I got this, I'm gonna do this. That would be delusional. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like I have no experience. Why should I be confident?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. If I was confident in that, it'd be legit delusion, crazy talk, right? But if I had to do it for whatever reason, then it's like, all right, let me turn on some YouTube videos and try to figure it out, right? And it would take courage, though.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a difference. Like you don't need to be confident. You need courage. I don't need to be confident. I just need to
it's
be
not
courage.
It's not about faking confidence.
Yeah, it's not, man.
Yeah. Because I think that's what I do a lot. I think a lot of people do that.
They look the same though. Right. They look imagine, like from the outside looking, like, y'all got this, right? All right. I got this. And then I'm like, man, I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna do this anyway.
Yeah.
But they look the same.
Yeah.
Like courage and confidence look the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's faking it till you make it. Because even if you feel like you were faking confidence, you were being courageous
to do it.
Right? I don't know. I feel like those things look exactly the same.
That's so true. If we want to talk about like a successful man specifically, what are things that they should avoid? This is not you saying that these things are bad innately, but like if you want to actually be top 1% as a human being, top 1% male, what's like a list of things that they should not be doing?
I think you should stay away from most vices. Most vices, including but not limited to drugs. Recreational drugs and alcohol. Performance enhancing drugs, I'm all about.
Go for it.
If you want to take some Adderall to work harder, hey, if your doctor prescribed it, go for it, right? Because you're trying to enhance performance. You're trying to be better.
Yeah.
And it's legal. Yeah. Where, you're doing it legally, and you're not going to get kicked out healthy. You're not going to get kicked out of your fucking college sports or anything.
Yeah.
You're not. And it's not like cheating.
Yeah.
Go for it. But as far as recreational drugs, the problem with recreational drugs and alcohol is they cause huge spikes in dopamine, right? And and after the spike, you also you after that you have less dopamine in your brain, right? Because your brain has a certain amount of dopamine. If you spike it super high with something like cocaine or like something like that, then you'll have way less after it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And the problem with it is to be ambitious. Ambition and dopamine are tied together. Drive and dopamine are tied together.
Yeah.
Right. So when you see somebody going after really doing, going super hard to accomplish their goals, you can rest assured that person has a high level of dopamine, right?
Yeah.
But if you waste it on recreational drugs, it's going to be difficult to get back to it, and also the contrast, right? The contrast, right? You said you were just in New York, right?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, listen, I used to live in New York for like 15 years. And in the winter, when I would come to Miami, it feels so great. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, the weather is amazing, but now I live here, so it's normal, right? Contrast will make you appreciate something more or less, right? If I go to now that I live in Miami, if I go to New York in the winter, I had to go to Chicago in the winter. My fucking eyebrows were frozen as soon as I get off the plane.
Yeah.
I disliked it more because of the contrast than when I lived there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you are going out, if you're doing recreational drugs, you're probably partying as well. You're probably doing a bunch of crazy shit, staying out all night. Next day, you got to do accounting for your business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to hate it more.
Yeah.
And same thing with cheat days, right? Like even if you just have, today I'm going to have a big cheat day. Then next you go back to your strict diet, you're going to hate it more.
Yeah.
Right? So like just any kind of vices, I would say stay away from. The contrast will probably make you dislike the boring things you have to do to succeed even more.
Yeah.
That work hard, play hard shit. I haven't seen that work long-term in practice. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen it work long-term in practice.
Yeah. What have you seen work long-term? What are people you look at and you're seeing that these are things that they do every day or every week?
So the most successful people I know, most of them are sober. Most of them, and that's been a bigger thing since I moved to Miami. Like, which is people don't expect that, but like one of my friends, Eric Spoelster, he sold his business for like $100 million, you know, and he's been sober for like over 10 years, like no alcohol, no recreational drugs, none of that, I've just seen that a lot. My boy Jeremy Haynes, he don't drink, it's something I'm noticing, Most of the people I know who are successful read a lot.
Do you read a lot?
Yeah. Most of the people I know who are successful do a lot of reading, There was a time for years I would read like 2 books a week, and every time I'm working out, I'm either listening to audiobooks or a podcast. Like they're always getting some, like I rarely ever listen to music anymore.
Wow.
Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, maybe when I first wake up, I'll listen to music.
And again, like nothing wrong with it, but you're saying that not in a, like nothing you're saying here is like, hey, you're a bad person if you do this. But it's like, if you want to achieve the stuff you're achieving, I think anyone that's watching at this point in the video is like, they're watching because they want to achieve what you achieve.
But at the same time, we can find examples of people, like people who don't follow these rules, like, Elon Musk smoke weed, but then again, he's a fucking, he's living different.
He's autistic.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. He's playing different rules.
He's a evil genius.
Yeah.
Right? Like you a regular guy, right? Like he's probably like a genius. Like him, whether you like him or not, like he's probably a genius, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think the rules don't necessarily apply.
Well, so tell me this. This is my perception. You know more successful people than me. I feel like if I just remove it even from the idea of making money.
Yeah.
And I think I level it as being like a good man.
Yeah.
Like a man of high integrity, a good person that's successful.
Yeah.
So like it's not about a certain amount of money, but it's just about being like the things you're doing and you're doing them well. I usually find that if they engage in any vice, it's in extreme moderation or they're sober.
Yeah.
I usually find that they're avid readers.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, avid learners.
Yeah.
I usually find that they aren't addicted to stuff like pornography.
Yeah.
And I usually...
Well, you never know what people do for behind closed doors, but that's typically it.
Yeah. And I usually find that their value systems are based off of family.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not, there's most of those people that are highly successful, it's not off of individualistic efforts and making myself really great. It's like, I want to bless and help other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they've already accomplished all this stuff for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say that. And as far as like the happiest, because you can be rich, but that doesn't necessarily happy, right?
Yeah.
It's two different things.
Yeah.
The people I know who are happiest and rich, all of them also work out, right? You can be successful without working out and be out of shape.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But that health being a big factor in there is so big. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Because there's something weird about how it's always like the richest, whenever someone becomes a millionaire, or they're online millionaire, I should say, eventually they start working out.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, then they talk about how important working out is. But like, Dan Martell used to be fat, dude.
Bro, you can get, man, and I don't know.
Dan Martell made a lot of money as a fat guy.
I would love to, especially because I'm in the fitness space, I would love to just tell everybody, yeah, you got to be in great shape to be successful. But it's not true, man.
Yeah.
It's just not, I know so many
but
fat
you know, it's
guys
like
who are millionaires.
But once they've made money,
yeah, everyone gets
and
serious
once they
about
now have status, they're like, oh, I want to get healthy because now I'm realizing like I could die. If I'm not healthy, I could like die.
Yeah. Well, especially if they're on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the guys who remain fat, they don't be on social media very much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I noticed is like the hardest people to train were rich guys who are married. Because there's no incentive. There's not as much incentive, right? If you're single, you want to get in shape to get girls, right?
Yeah.
But if you're married, that's covered.
So true.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're broke or
That's
if
so
you're
true.
not rich, then it's like you can lean on that as a part of like your accomplishments, your physique.
Yeah.
But if you're rich, you don't need that shit.
Do you spend time like individually, like by yourself meditating?
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
every
just being
day.
quiet?
Yeah, twice a day. I've been doing that for like over 15 years. Twice a day, I meditate for 15 to 20 minutes.
What does that mean to you?
Me, I sit quietly and I focus on my breath, really. And every time my mind wanders, I come back to it. Yeah, I have bipolar too, and I've been able to manage it without medication. One of the reasons is because of that. There's a lot of science behind it.
Wait, so you've been able to manage your bipolar?
Yeah.
When did you get diagnosed?
Man, in my 30s.
Okay.
You know, like I knew there was something weird, like something weird about the way I thought compared to other people, and some of the things I would notice.
Nothing that you've described so far is like you would have any depressive state.
So the depressive state is weird, right? Because you can go. People think that bipolar is 1 minute you're fucking sad, 1 minute you're happy. It's not like that. You go through like weeks or months in either what's called mania or depression.
Yeah.
You know, and every time I've been through one of the depression states, I just work through it. So they happen, but I just still work through it. And a lot of it was just finding different ways to change my state as much as possible. And I could do it, but it would just take a lot of work during a depressive state. Mania is awesome. Mania is fucking awesome. It feels like you crushing it.
Yeah.
And the problem with mania is you don't know you in it until it's over. And you've like wrecked your life in certain degrees. You know what I'm saying? But depression, you know you're in it. But mania, you don't know you're in it until it's over.
I have a few people close to me that have bipolar.
Yeah.
One is also trying to do it, not medicating.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for that because I think it's like, that also makes sense why you're so rigid.
Yeah, that's important.
And why you're so structured. Because it's like with it's like you have to maintain routine.
Yeah.
In order to do stuff.
And I have more incentive not to do recreational drugs too.
Yeah.
Because that can spark mania. And mania is like, it seems like it's awesome at the time, but you can do some things. You can do a lot of damage under those circumstances.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. I mean, I think, again, I love...
the ketogenic diet helps with this. Like there's studies that show it. The ketogenic diet helps with a number of
cognitive
mental, but also mental disorders, like even schizophrenia.
Really?
Yeah. There's tons of studies. You can go look at it. because it was invented to help brain disorder. It was invented to cure
Really?
kids with epilepsy.
Wow.
Yeah, in
I didn't know that.
1920. It was invented in 1920 by doctors to cure epilepsy, which is a brain disorder, right?
Man,
It's really good for your brain. Ketones are good for your brain.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Well, so what about, this is just for me. I might even cut this.
Mhm.
I'm a skinny twink.
Okay.
I don't eat well.
Uh-huh.
Anyone that's close friends with me, like very close, like if I asked my wife right now and I was like, hey, do you think I'm a healthy person? She would laugh.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't eat well, but I also just don't eat. Like I compensate just by like intermittent fasting. So I can go like, I'll binge something and then I like won't eat for like 48 hours.
I get it.
Am I going to die?
You're in that grind mode.
I'm in that grind mode.
You're in that season.
I'm in that season. Yeah. I'm just like,
I get that.
I'm pumping some new tonics and I'm just going to drink coffee and go hard.
I get that.
So what
are you going to die?
But I would love for my sons to not look at, I'm going to start jujitsu this year. Cause I'm like, I want to learn some level of like MMA to not feel like a little twink.
Yo, over the last 5 years, every white guy I know started doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
That doesn't bode well.
It's like the countdown. Every white friend that they start doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's almost like it's like basketball for white guys. You know what I'm saying? Ever since Joe Rogan told y'all to start doing it, y'all got your orders.
Well,
and everybody.
Well, I'm doing it because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna become a big guy. But
where do you live?
I'm moving to Nashville.
What are you gonna do? You gonna get into fights?
No,
how old are you, man?
Dude, no, it's more that I just like we're talking about like you want to be someone your son admires. Like I can't imagine your 8-year-old son doesn't look at you and they're like, yeah, my dad's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like you're fit, you're big, you're rich.
Yeah.
And you got a good head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Those are like, that's traits. I want my sons to look at me and be like,
Dad's
got it.
Can I give you the cheat code?
Yeah.
If you're big, you don't have to fight. Predators look for prey. like nobody, if you get muscular, like nobody's going to look at you and be like, you know, the guys who are looking to start fights, saying, that's the guy I want to start a fight
And here's the real thing though, is that I got a girl. I got a 6-year-old girl.
Oh.
And so I'm like, it's a different type of dad too. I gotta chill. I do gotta fight somebody. I gotta be ready to fight somebody.
Yeah. But the problem is you live in Nashville, right? Are they, I don't know what the gun laws are there, but I imagine
they're pretty crazy.
It's pretty
I could get a yeah. You're just saying just buy a gun. Is
well,
what you're saying?
No, here's the thing. It's like one of the reasons I never want to get into a fight, because I'm assuming everybody's armed here in Florida, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta assume everybody's armed.
Let's say
so. Like a fight will end up being a shootout, right?
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so let me reframe then. Okay, you're right. I want to feel tougher because I think I want to compensate for the fact that I'm smaller.
Yeah, I think you should put on some muscle. I mean, if you
How would I
want to
put
do
on
Brazilian
muscle?
jiu-jitsu, I was just joking with it. I love people getting active and doing sports.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I just think
and
it's
I'm
funny.
Like, this works, dude. Don't take this from me. It's made for me.
Oh, shit. Okay.
If I want to get bigger, what should I do?
Oh, man. All right, so this is what you're going to do. First thing we got to do, we got to start tracking your macros and your calories. So calories will determine your size. Macros will determine your body composition. Okay. Right. And you want to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. How much you weigh?
I don't know. Probably like 160.
All right, let's say 160. You want to make sure you're getting at least 160 grams of protein per day.
Yep.
All right. And if you want to put on some mass, then you need to be getting, let's call it 3,200 calories per day.
Okay.
All right.
I can do that. That's not hard.
It's easy.
I can do that.
And just make sure you get
160 grams
of protein. At least. If you go more, that's fine.
Yeah.
And what you do with the fats and carbs, I don't really care. I like low carb and high fat, but that's me. I do keto for a lot of the cognitive benefits and because it helps with bipolar and shit, so, but if you want to do high carbs or mix, whatever, I don't really give a fuck. All I really care about is the protein and the calories. All right. Now you can just do MyFitnessPal and start tracking it. Right. Or there's a prompt. I can text it to you after. There's a prompt. You can start a chat in Chat GPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you just tell it you can use voice note and tell it what you're eating, or take a picture.
Oh, really?
Of the fucking plate.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dump it up in chat, and it'll break down the macros and calories for each day, for each meal. And then you say when you're done, it'll keep a running tab. The prompt I make, it'll keep a running tab.
That's crazy.
Of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so easy.
And then at the end of it, then you say you're done. It'll start the next day.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can just do a chat. It's not as accurate as like me. You know, I don't have it. I should have brought it for this, but I usually keep a scale with me.
You keep
and
a scale with
my
you.
food.
Yeah.
But I'm going straight home after this. I told you because I just stepped out for this.
Yeah.
But all you got to do is hit that protein and those calories.
Yeah. And
then start lifting weights. Now here's what I recommend. Some people will tell you something different. But I say you do full body workouts 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
So full body workouts, it can be anything. I don't really care, but pick like one or two exercises per body part.
Yeah.
2 if it's an exercise if it's a body part you want to focus on. 1 if it's something you don't give a fuck about, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
instead of doing like a leg day and a chest day and a
some
shoulder.
people do that, man, but I don't like it.
Someone told me that if I wanted to put on muscle, I should just do like 3 leg days a week.
I mean, your legs will get big, right? For sure, but your legs will get big. But I like full body workouts, partially because you can you get more frequency. You know, so splits got invented for steroid users, right? Before steroids were invented, all bodybuilders did full body workouts or upper body, lower body, because protein synthesis, which is like a fancy word for muscle growth, it's what happens after resistance training, right?
Yeah.
Protein synthesis lasts for about 48 hours, right? So if you do leg day 1 day a week, right, you're going to miss out on 5 days of muscle growth.
Yeah.
But if you do a full body workout every other day, or you're doing upper body, lower body, which is another one that I'd be cool with, now you're not you're not missing out on any fucking muscle growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. Okay. And so
when they started doing, when steroids were invented, they realized that protein synthesis started lasting longer. So it made more sense to crush the body part one day. So splits were literally invented for steroid users. For sure.
So everybody should just be doing, or most people should just be doing
upper body, full body is my favorite, or upper body lowering, or push pull legs. That's another good split. Yeah. Right. Push pull legs. But you know, it depends. I think I still do full body workouts. Yeah. That's mine, you know.
Yeah.
One of those.
Because you're maintaining though, right?
No, I'm still gaining, man. You're like I've gotten bigger over the last 5 years. Well, I started taking testosterone replacement therapy.
Is that the one that, and is there any negative effect to that? Does that make your balls like small or something like
that? It can.
Okay.
It can, but it's typically,
show me. No.
It's typically, so basically testosterone replacement therapy is for when people, when your testosterone is lower as you age. Yeah. Right? Like I'm 43, right? So around the time when I was close to 40, I noticed that I just had a little bit less energy. Yeah. And I got my testosterone tested. I was still in the normal range, but I was at the low end of the normal range. Yeah. And the doctor said, you can wait till this is a big problem. Yeah. Or you can just make sure it's never a problem. So let's make sure it's never a problem. Yeah. And then, so now we keep mine at the high end of the normal range, right? Yeah. So it's not like doing roids. Exactly. It's just, I put my testosterone back when I was in my 20s. Yeah. You know?
My wife won't let me because she wants more babies.
Well, you probably won't even need it, right? How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 29.
Yeah, you probably don't even need it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was almost 40 when I went on.
Well, that's why I feel like I want to start. It's like, why? It's a no-brainer if you're that age. It's like, why not do it? Yeah. Like there's no point not to. Do you want to just feel sad all the time?
Yeah, I think you're probably fine right now. Typically, men's natural testosterone doesn't start to drop till age 30. Okay. But it's like a slow decline after. Like you'll still be good at 30. That's when you probably like around the peak and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you probably don't, like a real doctor wouldn't give it to you.
Yeah, I guess here's my last question. If someone's been putting off a decision that they know they should start, what evidence do you have over your life that they should just take action on it right now?
You know, I would just tell them to. There's really 2 types of people. You know, is this like pigeons and they're the eagles, right? When a pigeon wants to eat, it might, let some old lady throw crumbs on the floor and they fight over it. You ever seen that shit? Somebody throwing, right? That's how a pigeon eats. Or it might get something out the trash. Scavengers, scavenger shit. Just take whatever the world gives them. And the eagle, when it wants to eat, it might fucking go to the top of a mountain, swoosh down, grab a salmon out the water, grab another bird right out the sky, and eat it next to its American flags. Right? Yeah. It's not a fair comparison, right? Because those birds are born like that, right? But we get to decide how we want to live. You know what I'm saying? So if you're only going to sit around and take what the world gives you, then you kind of living like a pigeon, But if you want to be, if you're going after what you want, even if it's more difficult, right? Getting hunting fresh salmon from the air is probably more difficult than eating some bullshit some old lady throwing on the floor, right? But what do you think is more rewarding? What do you think tastes better, right?
Yeah.
You're deciding to be a pigeon if you don't go after it, you know? Do you want, what kind of man do you want to be? And the worst part about it is you're setting an example for your kids. Your kids are going to inherit a lot of your mannerisms and proclivities inadvertently, right? What do you want them to inherit? Like I think about that, when I'm making decisions. I'm like, is this how I want my son to behave? Is this something I want him to mimic subconsciously? And it's not even just about you. And even if you don't have kids, you're gonna have them someday, right? So like hopefully, right? So it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Like this decision you make is bigger than you, man. And you got to decide, is this who you want to be or not?
Man, I so appreciate you. I think again, it's everything I've heard about you. You are who you say you are. There's a reason why. I'm just going to say this. Like, I intentionally do not interview bullshit people. Like, my goal has been like, I just want to interview the highest integrity people I can talk to.
Thank you, man.
So the reason I've been hitting you up a lot is because
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like what's represented over the past 16 years of you being online is that you have unfuckwithable proof that you are who you say you are. And I think there's a lot of people that resonate with that, and I resonate with that. And so behind the scenes, from what I've heard about you and interacting with you, it's really cool to see why. And I have a lot of respect for you. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Awesome, man. My pleasure.